You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I am back. Rudrance for Black and White Sports 2. If you're new to the channel, hit subscribe, like, comment, share this out. Thank you guys and gals for watching on all of our platforms. So let's talk about NASCAR legend Jimmie Johnson. Man, very long time back in the day, in the days of Alltel Communications, which was a big cellular phone company back in the 90s and early 2000s, a company I worked for. I received an award for selling a hell of a lot of stuff. And I'm not talking about in a store either, at a corporate level. And I got honored. I got to go to Little Rock, and one of the people I got to meet, Jimmie Johnson, he drove the Alltel car. This was way back in the day, not long after he first started. Jimmie Johnson has, of course, very publicly experienced an awful, terrible, horrific tragedy, of course, with the murder-suicide of not only his in-laws, but his 11-year-old nephew. And we have covered that. We did a video on the body cam footage of that over on Black and White Sports. The family has been very quiet about this. I don't blame them. They're obviously in massive amounts of mourning right now. Very sad. And finally, Jimmie Johnson has issued a statement around those horrific events. And I cannot imagine what they're going through. Of course, our thoughts and prayers go out to Jimmie Johnson. He's a NASCAR legend, truly. You know, I don't know if people understand exactly how great Jimmie Johnson truly was. NASCAR legend, the Daily Wire, Jimmie Johnson speaks for the first time since in-laws murder-suicide. Jimmie Johnson has spoken out for the first time following what authorities described as, quote, a murder-suicide involving his in-laws and nephew. A month after the tragedy, Johnson has released a statement on his Instagram account expressing gratitude for those who have reached out. And this is what he put out there on his official Instagram. Our family is devastated by the profound loss of Lynn, Jack, and Dalton Janway. We have been humbled by the outpouring of love and support during this unthinkable, sad time and remain grateful for all of your compassion. The parents of Johnson's wife, Chandra Janway, along with the 7-time champion's 11-year-old nephew, were shot to death in their Muskogee, Oklahoma home on June 26th, the New York Post reported. Jack Janway, 69, his wife Terry, 68, and their grandson Dalton were found. Reports indicate that the Johnsons' mother-in-law, Terry, who shot and killed her husband and grandson before calling 911 to report someone had a gun, then quickly ended the call. Then she turned the gun on herself and took her own life, police said, according to the New York Post. Yeah, and on the body cam footage, what happened is you see the cops outside the house, and as soon as the door comes open and they enter and they say, police, bam, you hear another gunshot. And I guess that was Terry, the last gunshot of the three. Police, I assume there were just 3, but you get the point. Last gunshot, she was gone. Police arrived at the home to find a body laying in the hallway just inside the door. They then heard gunshots and pulled the body out of the home before asking anyone else to come out. The Post reported they found 2 other bodies in a different part of the house. Police have not said which bodies were found where. Johnson canceled his participation. That was the street race in Chicago that weekend, and he was supposed to be there. Muskogee Mayor Marlon Coleman told Fox 23 that he knew the family since Jack was a prominent chiropractor in town. Quote, it was traumatizing to find out that the long-standing family who had made so many contributions to our community was involved in this type of incident. It was even more bone-chilling to find out there was a child involved, Coleman told the outlet. I knew Dr. Janway. Dr. Janway has worked on me. We have been acquaintances for a very, very long time since I've been in Muskogee. Just knowing that was him and his family took a different toll on me. It was not the first tragedy suffered by the Janway family. In 2014, Jordan Janway, Chandler's younger brother, was killed in a skydiving accident. I did not know that. Of all the stories, and I think we've done 3 videos on this incident, at no point had any of them said anything about this. That is interesting. KNSD TV reported at the time Jordan was described by the outlet as a seasoned skydiver who died following a mid-air collision. Jordan's death came just hours after Johnson finished second in a race at Martinsville Speedway. I'm going to tell you, now that I know that, I don't know if it had any influence on what happened at all, but I can just tell you from my standpoint, I've lost 2 brothers, one on dad's side and one on my mother's side. One of my brothers died, fell asleep at the wheel in 1983, and man, to say that changed my mother in a way. Even as a child, I remember that moment vividly. My father coming home from the job, walking in and saying, having to tell my mother, and my mother was in a massive depression for a long time, several years after. And she finally kind of came out the other side, but you can tell clearly we're 40 years past that now. And my mother was never the same after that. And now that I've seen that, I wonder what kind of effect that took on Chandra's parents, even because my siblings are much older than me. I was by far the youngest child. My brother was like, he might have been, he was 20 or 21, 22. Maybe he was 23. I know you're probably like, you can't remember. No, I was 8 years old. So anyway, and that changed my mother a lot. And I did not expect to be saying this on this video, but I see that. And it makes you wonder if maybe there was some kind of an influence there. I don't know. I'm purely speculating at this point, right? It's an awful thing to have had happen. Jimmie has come out, made these comments now, and it's kind of a mystery. You've got to wonder, will we ever find out what the motivation was behind this situation having happened at all to begin with? It's crazy to fathom that there was an 11-year-old in this situation. It's so awful. Tell me what you think in the comment section. Black and White Sports 2 supporters. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.